China. 1.4 billion people, 5,000 years of history, and enough going on politically to fill a Netflix series that would probably get banned immediately. China is the main character of this entire region, whether it wants to be or not. You've got the Great Wall, which you can't actually see from space. That's a myth, but it's still insanely impressive. You've got Shanghai looking like someone copy-pasted a city from the year 2150 next to a city from 1920 and just said, yeah, that works. And Beijing, where history is literally under your feet everywhere you walk. The food alone could be its own video. Dim sum, Peking duck, hot pot, xiaolongbao. If you leave China hungry, that's a personal failure. Economically, this country built its way from poverty to the second largest economy on earth in about 40 years. China is complicated, massive, contradictory, ancient and modern all at once. It's not a country, it's a civilization wearing a country's clothes. Japan. Japan said, let's take discipline, aesthetics and efficiency and turn them into a personality. And honestly, it worked. Trains on time to the second. Convenience stores with food better than most restaurants. Cities so clean you feel guilty for existing. Tokyo is organized chaos in the best possible way. Neon lights, 7 floors of arcade games, ramen that costs $5 and tastes like a spiritual experience. But then you go to Kyoto and suddenly you're in a completely different dimension. Temples, bamboo forests, geishas, and this overwhelming sense of calm that makes you want to quit your job and become a monk. Japan also has this cultural thing where politeness is basically sacred. People bow, apologize constantly, and will give you directions with the precision of a GPS even if they've never been to that street. The food is god tier. Sushi, ramen, yakitori, takoyaki, katsu curry. Japan might have the best food culture on the planet. But of course Japan has its problems, such as the intense work culture causing overwork, problems tied to women's safety, and the dark history of imperialism and severe human rights abuses. Japan's indigenous populations were gradually taken over and assimilated by the expanding Japanese state. However, today, many of Japan's war crimes are overshadowed by the country's current cultural impact. Mongolia. 3 million people, landmass 3 times the size of France, essentially empty, just steppe, sky, and silence. And yet, this nomadic, tent-dwelling civilization once ran the entire world. Genghis Khan built the largest contiguous empire in human history from horseback. No navy, no gunpowder advantage, just speed, discipline, and a military genius that swallowed Persia, China, Russia, and half of the Middle East. At its peak, the Mongol Empire controlled a quarter of the world's land and a third of its population. That came from here. From this quiet, beautiful emptiness. Modern Mongolia carries that legacy with quiet dignity. Outside Ulaanbaatar, the landscape is otherworldly. Rolling steppe, the Gobi Desert, skies so clear at night they don't look real. People still live in gers, still move with the seasons, still ride horses before they ride bikes. One of the last places on earth where the ancient way of life is just normal life. Before we get into the next country, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more explanation videos and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. While you're at it, let me know down in the comments which of these countries you want to visit the most. North Korea. North Korea is technically a country in the same way a prison is technically a building. The Kim dynasty has ruled since 1948, and the personality cult is so extreme that having a creased photo of the leader can get you in trouble. Criticizing the government gets 3 generations of your family sent to a labor camp. Citizens have no outside internet, no outside media, and a version of history that is almost entirely made up. The country has experienced multiple famines while the government builds missile programs, and yet people still live, love, and laugh in whatever cracks of normalcy they can find. South Korea. In 1953, this country was rubble, completely flattened by a war that technically never ended. There's still no peace treaty, just a ceasefire that's been awkwardly held for 70 years. From that, South Korea built one of the fastest growing economies in history, a period Koreans call the miracle on the Han River. Today, Seoul is one of the most dynamic cities on earth. Fast, stylish, and slightly overwhelming in the best way. The food is incredible. Korean BBQ, bibimbap, tteokbokki, fried chicken at midnight. Genuinely world class. Culturally, South Korea exports itself better than almost any country alive right now. K-pop, K-drama, Squid Game, Bong Joon-ho sweeping the Oscars. The whole planet is paying attention. Genuinely one of history's great comebacks. Taiwan. Taiwan's story starts in 1949 when the losing side of the Chinese Civil War retreated to this island and set up a separate government, meaning you've had 2 entities both claiming to be the real China for 75 years. Taiwan went democratic in the 90s, built a thriving economy, and became the world's dominant producer of advanced semiconductors. The chips inside basically every phone, laptop, and car on Earth, made or designed here. All of this while sitting 90 miles from mainland China, which has never officially accepted Taiwan's existence. On the ground though, Taipei is modern, walkable, and genuinely lovely. The food is exceptional. Night markets, beef noodle soup, bubble tea, which yes, Taiwan invented. The geopolitical situation is tense background noise. Taiwan itself just keeps being excellent and betting the world will eventually catch on.